psychology major and I go to Foothill College.
I'm Hung. I majored in nursing and I am going to De Anza.
Hi, I'm Francis. I major in electrical engineering and I go to Foothill Community College.
My name is Shennie and I'm currently attending De Anza College and I'm majoring in nursing.
My name is Diana and I'm attending De Anza College as well, and I will be majoring in nursing.
So why did you guys choose your colleges?
I didn't get into the college I wanted to, and I used this as a backdoor instead.
I chose to go to this college because it had a pretty good thing going on for nursing, and it was also free.
I chose to go to Foothill College because I qualified for their College Promise, which gave me free college and free textbooks for the first 2 years. Community college ended up being the more affordable option for the same education in my case, which is why I chose it.
So can you guys list out all the community colleges that you guys know of?
Here in the Bay Area that I know is Foothill, De Anza, West Valley, Alumni, Mission, and EVC.
So what system does your school go on? Is it by quarters or semesters?
Our system is a quarter system, De Anza and Foothill. A quarter system is much more fast-paced than semester. For De Anza and Foothill, we would have fall quarter, winter quarter, and spring quarter, as well as summer quarter, but summer quarter is shorter. Summer quarters would be about 6 weeks, while a typical quarter would be 10 to 12, while a semester is a lot longer. It's like school. That's how long it is.
How and when do you apply to community college?
For example, if you want to register for De Anza College, you would go to their website and there should be a section where it's for registration/application. And there should be a link that also guides you to a different website called openccccapply.net. And that's how you'll be able to apply for whichever quarter you want.
How do you ensure that you're going into the right classes regarding what major you're trying to pursue in community college?
Assist.org is a really helpful tool to use to make sure that the classes you're taking at whichever college applies. Like you can use those credits to whichever college you're going to transfer to. Courses at Foothill and De Anza, usually they have like a footnote if it's UC and CSU transferable.
How many years does it generally take to finish community college in order to transfer? So it would take some people 2 years average to transfer out of community college. It just depends on your work ethic and how hard you try. Some people could do it in a year or even 4 years, so everyone goes at their own pace.
How do you transfer from a community college? Can you plan it out so that you can get into the school of your dreams? Or is it just as unpredictable as applying as a high school senior?
So everyone's transfer plan is going to be different depending on your major and career goal. For some, you'll be able to plan it out to get into the college of your dreams possibly, but for others, you may not be able to. Community colleges like Foothill or De Anza offer tag and tap programs for some majors that essentially guarantee acceptance to schools like UCI or UCLA, but it's not like that for all majors. And for example, nursing programs don't allow students to tag or tap in, so if that's what you're going into, that's something to keep in mind as well. That's why it's important to make an educational plan with your counselor your first quarter or semester to plan out what classes you need to take in order to transfer to the schools that you want to transfer to.
In order to transfer, you need 90 quarter units and 60 semester units. It's like that's like the minimum. But if you want to apply to like the school of your dreams, there should be a minimum GPA. Like for some colleges, I know that you would need a minimum of either 3.2 or 3.5. It depends. And honestly, it's going to be competitive. So it's a good idea to have that mentality that you should get really good grades, like B's and A's. You can definitely plan it out. Like one of the steps to completing your like application as a new time student, you need to create an education plan. So you could either create that with a counselor or do on your own. There's a bunch of resources that you can refer to, such as assist.org. It's really helpful. I use that. It gives you like a preview of what upper division courses you need to take, as well as the general education that you would need to fulfill in order to transfer.
I wouldn't say it's unpredictable, but I wouldn't say that it's a surefire way to get into the dream college of your life. Like if you're coming from Piedmont and you're transferring, so you go to like a community college and you're like, oh, I didn't get into Harvard. I want to go to Harvard. I'm gonna transfer to Harvard. It's doable, but at that point, it's still very difficult. So you have to be a little bit more realistic, and it will help you if you want to go to like a UC or something right here that you've always wanted to. Transferring is just kind of like another pathway to take it there. It just depends on how hard you work to make that kind of dream a reality.
Do colleges prioritize transferring students or high school students?
It depends on what the specific college is looking for. So some colleges might be looking for more freshmen, while others might be looking for more transfers.
Regarding finances, is community college a better start?
Yeah, it's so much cheaper. Foothill offers scholarship at the college as well. So if you didn't get any scholarships, that's totally fine. First semester does offer scholarships.
Community college is better financially because you're paying less than what you would pay for taking general ed classes at a UC or CSU.
There's the California Promise program at the community colleges. So basically, you get your first 2 years tuition free. For example, De Anza, they also offer $500 a year. So you can use that to buy textbooks or supplies, but it only applies to their bookstore. And I know for a Foothill, the textbook costs free.
What are the benefits of choosing community college and what are things to keep in mind?
So as I said, it's much more affordable, and for some like me, it's free even. However, transferring is competitive, so you need to have a good work ethic. Also, something I've noticed from all the professors I've had is that they're all so passionate and caring about their job and their students. You can really feel that they're there to help, and they're very considerate about your life and problems that you might have outside of the class.
If you're really gonna choose the community college way to transfer, it'll be really helpful to take dual enrollment classes because that way you can get your credits done quicker. And I actually know someone that finished community college in 1 year and they're able to transfer to a CSU. So, and she took community college courses while she's in high school. So it's definitely beneficial to take during summer because first of all, it's free. You don't have to pay for the courses that you're gonna take at the college. And second of all, you're gonna be able to get the courses done faster and you can transfer to the college you want a lot quicker. So another key factor to remember about community college is priority registration. It is really important to have because that means you get priority in registering for your classes. So basically, as a first-time student at a community college, you would need to complete 4 steps in order to obtain the earlier group to register. So you need to complete your assessment, which would mean turning in your transcript. You would need to complete your orientation. That's online right now, as well as creating an educational plan, either with your counselor or with the link they provide you on Canvas, as well as declare a major. So what priority registration really is there are 8 groups. So when you complete those 4 steps, your group will be higher. You'll be placed in a higher group, which means you'll be able to register earlier than others because there's a group of first-time students who haven't completed at least one of those steps, and so they're at a lower position. That means they're going to register later than you. So it's really helpful to remember that you need to complete those 4 steps before you enroll in the class because classes run out quick, definitely in our quarter system colleges. And in my own experience, I'm even waitlisted in 2 classes that I want, that are part of the requirements I need to take. And it's really helpful to remember that it's best to register early and it's best to plan what classes you want to take as well as research what professors you want.
So there's a website called Rate My Professor, and you can look at how each professor is, what their teaching style is. You know how you work best, right? So you just read it, and then from that you can choose what professor you think will work best with how you work. So it will help you succeed in your class.
Super helpful because it gives you the ratings of how well they teach as well as their difficulty. So if you want an easier teacher, then definitely you need to check out ratemyprofessor.com. Tag program applies to certain schools. It applies to certain UCs, CSUs. It does not apply to all for sure. But you need to maintain a minimum GPA requirement and take the higher units as well. And I know at Foothill there's a program called TAP, and it gives you a higher percentage to certain schools, such as I know UCLA. So I saw that it gives you at least 70% of transferring to UCLA, if that's a dream school for any of you guys. But you need to be competitive. That's the thing, because a lot of people want to transfer.
I wanted to know how college life is and if it's like high school or completely different. Are the classes in community college harder than high school? Is the schedule more demanding?
So even though I go to a community college and live at home, my college life is still very different from my high school life. I have more time and freedom. And so each class is generally 2 hours long for me. But if we finish early, we're free to leave, meaning that we don't waste time doing busy work. Some classes I've taken in community college were actually easier than some of my high school classes, but every professor is going to be different. So be prepared to do the work.
So what would you guys say to those who have no idea what major or career they want to do?
I would say take time in high school to expand yourself and search for something that you enjoy doing. That should be pretty difficult though, but if you still can't decide on what you want to do, you could go community college and decide then, and then transfer within those 2 years to help find what you're looking for or help find what you're enjoying. Because you could go to like a UC undecided, but if you go under a major and then you find out that you don't like that major, you're gonna have to change your major. That's like a whole other story, a whole different aspect of college that you probably don't want to experience.
You should always like explore your options right now. Like, what are your interests and stuff, and then you compile it into like an actual major. And if you really don't know what major you go in, you can always enter college undeclared. You should definitely continue college though in education. That's important.
I would say to explore your passions and set aside time to sit down and really think. For example, I knew I wanted a job where I didn't have to sit in a desk all day, and I wanted to interact with and help people. So after exploring the careers that fit those criteria, I made my decision senior year. Something I would suggest if you don't know where to start is to try taking a personality test and see what careers your personality works well with. The most popular one I recommend is the Myers-Briggs 16 personalities test.
Find things that you're good at or something that you already love doing or classes that you really enjoy, and then find careers that interlock within that. And it's also good to talk to people who are in fields so that you know how the jobs are like. Many people go undecided, so you shouldn't feel pressured to choose a major right away unless you know exactly what you want. And it's like okay to change majors because many people do. So just take your time and explore options.
As a senior, I actually applied as a psychology major to the colleges I applied to. But later on, as I chose community college, I discovered that nursing was the profession I wanted to pursue actually. And if you really want to choose a major, definitely you should research. It's better if you research early. That was one of my mistakes. I honestly didn't research that much into psychology. I chose it just because I enjoyed taking the psychology class at school. So definitely research whichever majors you're gearing towards, and that will help a lot. I researched the classes that you would have to take with the major. For example, I don't really like math. So for nursing, stats would be the last. For me, I watched like nursing videos. I was like, oh, I like that. You know, additionally, that's also a perk of attending community college because we take these courses and it's easy to change your majors. And they say that taking courses will help you choose which major you actually want to do.
What do you think about the stigma regarding going to community college? And what would you say to someone if they felt uneasy about community college because of the stigma?
Going to a community college does not make you less than someone going to a 4-year. The education you receive from community college is just as good as one from a 4-year. Your mindset is going to be so important in getting through. The classmates I've had at community college are some of the most determined and hardworking people that I've met. So if you're feeling uneasy about community college because of the stigma, again, I'd say to put your blinders up. Don't let the mere opinion of others devalue the real benefits of community college.
I thought of community college as my last resort because I always thought that it's better to go to a 4-year university first, because I sort of thought of it as like a bandwagon. You know, if you go for a year, then you're deemed as smart. But that's not the case at all. A bunch of people go to community college because first, it saves money. Second, your first 2 years are the same as it would be in a 4-year university. Like the first 2 years, you just finish your GE. And what better way to save money than go to community college and finish the same GEs you would take in a 4-year university? And also, I think it's really helpful for those who aren't sure with what major they want to pursue, because it's easy to change your major in a community college. And staying home really helps with the commute because it's closer, and stay home with family more, you know, before you become independent. So I think that's really nice.
Community college is also kind of like a pathway to better opportunities. Let's say you don't get into your dream school, then you could go to community college to fulfill your dream and apply to your dream school. You'll have a better chance of getting in. In the end, a college alone doesn't make a successful graduate. I feel like someone who's determined and has grit can achieve anything as long as you're working hard and putting in the effort. Then eventually it's going to pay off, because at the end of the day, everyone just wants a stable job or stable life. So whatever path or college you go to shouldn't really matter as long as you get to where you're going and know your goals.
Does the college you go to really matter?
The college you go to will matter to your future employers. It's going to matter, not going to lie.
For me, it kind of depends, because I do intend on going to a really big name college for my career, so that in the future, this school is like more noticeable among like people's minds and eyes, so that they can recognize it without a doubt. But I'm obviously not at UCI. I'm at Foothill. So Foothill is also really important to reach that goal. So I would say it kind of depends on how you get there to that school or whatnot, but I would say it not necessarily matters that much, but in certain cases it does.
It does matter because it is a reputation, but honestly, you're just getting education, right? At the end of it all, you're getting a college degree, so it doesn't really matter where you're going.
Going to a four-year university is definitely, it has its pros as well, because as a freshman, you get to experience, that dorm life, and then you get to be more familiarized and feel more comfort in a new area that you go for your college, versus when you're transferring, you kind of have to accommodate to the new changes as a junior in college. So I think it's nice to be able to be independent as a freshman, so then you can adjust to your college life easier.
Is there any important information that you'd like to share to those who are watching, or any advice that you didn't mention?
Work hard. I know that sounds super cheesy and basic because it is, but it's also true. A lot of people, after getting their college applications back, had so much regret, like, oh, I didn't work hard enough. Oh my God, I should have took more APs. I didn't get like this position in this club. But so many people were like that. They all regretted not doing enough. I did too. I considered going to some of the other UCs I mentioned earlier. I got into UC Santa Cruz, UC Merced, and UC Riverside. They're still really good UCs, very reputable, top 100 school in the country, still very good. But I just decided no, and I went this different route. This route is still not an easy route, but it is a second chance, essentially. You just work really hard if you really want to go to the school, but not so much to the point where you're not happy, you're not enjoying yourself. At that point, I'd say step away and talk to a counselor or someone and maybe rethink your choices about taking that one AP or those 2 extra APs. Like, think in your head, do I need these right now? Like, are these a requirement that I need to have in high school? Just because other people are taking it does not mean you should. And after, if you ended up not taking the AP, you'll feel really good about it. You'll feel, wow, I don't feel as stressed, and I feel pretty confident with myself in my classes.
You guys, I remember, like, this is for you guys. Do what you think is best for you. Like, if you can handle it, definitely take it. I remember, like, it's not going to affect your entire career. It's just one class. And when you're in college, you have your own schedule. You do your own thing.
Again, put your blinders up. Try not to look at what everyone else is doing or how much fun they're having at their 4 years. Know that if you decide to go with community college, I'm not going to lie, you're giving up the traditional college experience, and you're going to feel FOMO from time to time, but try to remember that this is your path and you shouldn't compare yourself to others. You're going to have your time, but for now, just keep working towards your goal, no matter how long it's going to take.
What I regret is not trying as hard in my classes, because there's just a point in time where I got super lazy and like my mental health was not okay at the moment. So it's really good to just push through that, and also to definitely apply to places, because for me, I didn't apply anywhere. So it's good to just try to see what schools you could get into, and I regret not applying.
For underclassmen, I would recommend having extracurriculars so you can accumulate your hours. And if you start early, then you have more hours, which is really helpful to add in your college application, as well as having a part-time job, because that opens up to more experiences that you can add on to your college apps. It's not a bad thing to connect with your teachers at high school as well, because they can really help you through academics and give teacher recommendations, which is really helpful for future. And if you really want to finish college on time, like during the 4-year frame, or if you want to transfer community college within the 2-year frame, then definitely look into taking community college courses as you're in high school, like in the summer. For sure.
How did you guys feel when you decided that you were going to community college? At first, I felt kind of disappointed in myself for not trying hard enough to get into a UC, but I just realized, like, at the end of the day, everyone goes at their own pace, and eventually they'll get to where they want to be.
I was sad at first because I kind of felt like I lost that opportunity to, be away from home and go to a 4-year university as a start, because I would see my other friends, they would be really happy about going to like a UC or the CSCs they wanted to go to, or even out of state. It made me feel a bit envious, because they're going to be able to experience that dorm life and meeting new people and, being away from home, living independently. I felt pretty down about that for a little bit. And later on, like, I realized I just have to accept it. And community college is probably a really good choice, not probably, but it is a good choice for sure. In the financial aspect, it really helps. And I could avoid like any loans I run into. I have more time to prep for the college life away from home.
I just remember all the memories with like friends that I've made. I just remember the little things.
Memorable moments would be like meeting new people and finding that connection with people you wouldn't think because they were a different person in middle school. Wait, no, that sounds like I'm directing it. For example, senior picnic, those were so memorable because everyone was just able to.
We didn't have a senior picnic.
Sunrise. I mean, sunrise. The moment I also really cherished in high school was when our individual class would come together and it's kind of like a big family, you know? For example, our senior sunrise. I thought that was a really great moment. To watch the sunrise together, and I thought that was so nice because everyone woke up early and then we got to paint the benches together and like there's music, I remember, and everyone was just talking and then also get to see everyone that you've created new friendships with. And I wish we could experience more of that. That's what I really miss about high school. Just the people you meet and the times when we all got together and just have fun. Like no academics involved, just fun.
Yeah, I think it's really important to just cherish those like little moments because everything's not guaranteed. We couldn't even experience all of senior year together. So definitely just cherish everyone around you. And yeah.
How do you guys think that high school changed you?
In middle school, I was like really shy. Like I would not talk to anyone. I feel like once I got to high school, I kind of just branched out because like there was a lot of new people and high school in general just helped me experience a lot of things and it helped me learn a lot of things and grow as a person. And now I feel like I'm like less shy and it's just helped me socially.
I was shy too back then, but in high school I learned it the hard way. Like classes, they require you to participate for points and I'll be shy to know an answer because I would always think it's not right. But I learned it the hard way when I didn't get enough participation stamps and that kind of lowered my grade. And so I was like, man, I gotta be more confident in myself, you know? I should really speak out and be confident that my answer is right, whether it is wrong, you know? It's good to voice your own opinions in class. And I also think that I was able to break out of the shell. I used to care about how people saw me and I would think that others would be judgmental of how I acted, but it really doesn't matter, you know? Like don't change based on the public's opinion and you'll find your own group of friends and that'll help you flourish in life.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like no one cares. Everyone's just doing their own thing. Like no one thinks about the little things that you did in high school. They don't care what people think of you.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down if this helped you. Leave a comment down if we changed your life.
Nope. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
And very informative.
You should like so basically
If you guys ever need help with school advice, community college, anything, just let us know. Our links will be down below.
Yeah, don't be afraid. It's not a bad thing to ask older people, upperclassmen, for help. And it's really helpful.
We're very friendly.
So friendly. Wow.
This concludes this section special.
Special thanks to our community college representatives for joining us. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Welcome.
Bye.
Stay safe.